Hello everyone and welcome to the Eco Insight Podcast. I'm Aisha.
I'm Hana.
I'm Zuleka.
I'm Anisha. Today, the four of us are co-hosting a special episode analyzing the microeconomy landscape of France.
That's right, guys. Let's start with the background study. France is one of the biggest economies in European Union. Most of people know it for fashion and tourism, which explain why their service sector is so massive. But they are also an agricultural powerhouse. However, looking at their recent GDP data, it's been a roller coaster. They took a huge 7.9% during the 2020 pandemic, which is COVID-19 pandemic, bounced back by 6.8% in 2021, and managed a modest 1.1% growth in 2024. And right now, in 2026, they are tightening their fiscal policies to curb inflation.
And that brings us to the biggest story in their side right now, the labor market. Hana, can you take us through the basic?
Exactly. To understand the crisis, we first need to ask, what is unemployment? In macroeconomics, it doesn't just mean not having a job. It officially refers to individuals who are jobless, actively seeking employment, and are completely available to work, yet unable to find a position. It's a state of labor underutilization. Sadly, France's unemployment rate unexpectedly shot up to 8.1% in the first half of 2026, hitting a 5-year high.
And 1.1% spike is a massive wake-up call. Let's break down exactly what kind of unemployment we are dealing with here. When we look closely at France, we are seeing two main types of unemployment. First, there's a cyclical unemployment, which is fluctuates with the economic cycle. Because global markets are shaky right now and France's GDP expansion slowed to 0.6%, businesses are freezing requirement. Second, and more dangerously, is structural unemployment. This is a long-term mismatch between the skills workers have and what the modern markets need. This is why youth unemployment for those aged 15 to 24 in France has hit a chronic 21.5%.
A 21.5% youth unemployment rate is incredibly alarming. Zuleka, what are the root causes driving these numbers?
We can pin it down to three main causes. First, heavy fiscal and social tax burdens. France have massive social security deduction and labor taxes. This labor tax wage and labor tax. This labor tax wage makes hiring an expensive gamble for employers. Second, economic policy uncertainty. Geopolitical tensions have created market anxieties, causing major corporations to hold back on capital investment. Third, demographic shift. France is facing a rapidly aging workforce. This demographic transition creates structural gaps because younger workers often lack the advanced digital or technical skills required to instantly replace retiring ones.
Wow, with costs going up and skill lagging behind, the damage must be widespread. Let's look at how this directly hurt this country. The effect of unemployment in France hit hard on two fronts, social and economic. On the social side, unemployment destroys individual well-being. We see a direct rise in a mental health issue like a severe anxiety, stress and depression. For the youth, it causes risk carrying, meaning if you start your career unemployed, your long-term lifetime planning drop. Plus, with high housing costs in France, young unemployed people face severe barrier just trying to find a place to live.
Wow, it really ripples across the entire society. What about the economic side, Aishatu?
On the economic side, when people lose their job, household income drop below baseline comfort level. This means consumer spending on basic things like transport and food plummet. When spending drop, aggregate demand fall, and GDP growth stall completely. Furthermore, it put on an insane strain on the government budget. France's public expenditure has ballooned past 1.7 trillion euro because the state has to constantly fund unemployment benefit and social safety net instead of investing in growth.
So, the government is spending trillions just keeping the economy afloat. We clearly need a strategic macroeconomic intervention to fix this. Exactly, and that's where managing problem comes in. To fix this, France must use a powerful combination of fiscal and monetary policies. Under fiscal policy, the government needs to implement an expansionary fiscal policy. They should use a portion of that 1.7 trillion euro budget to fund massive public infrastructure projects, which directly creates immediate jobs. They must also cut the labour tax wage, reducing social tax for small and medium enterprise (SMEs) so that hiring low wage or young workers become affordable. On top of that, aggressive government funding for upskilling in the digital and green economy will bridge the structural skills gap.
That covers the government side. How can the central bank support this, Alisha?
Through expansionary monetary policy, the central bank must lower interest rates to reduce the cost of borrowing for business, encourage them to expand. They should also lower the statutory receive requirement (SSR) and conduct open market operation by purchasing government bonds. This injects massive liquidity into commercial banks, making it easier for business to secure loans and hire more people.
So, a unified policy response is absolutely non-negotiable.
Preciously, to conclude our presentation, France's unemployment issue is a complex, multidimensional challenge combining short-term cyclical shocks with deep structural flaws. However, by effectively combining structural fiscal reforms with expansionary monetary policies, France can bridge the skill gap, lower the cost of hiring, and build a highly resilient, future-ready labour market.
That's our analysis.
Thank you so much for listening.